Today we're going to be talking about Staghorn Sumac and some of its uses. So this is what the Staghorn seed looks like. It's not to be confused with poison sumac, which looks like this. The Staghorn Sumac actually has a fuzzy stem, as you can see here. It's a good way to identify it. In the fall, the sumac's absolutely beautiful. You can see in some of the pictures here. We're going to get started. We've gone out and we've picked our Staghorn seeds. As you can see, this is middle of August, and you want to pick these basically when you've had a dry period. And you can see the difference in color here with some of the brighter ones. You want to choose the brighter ones and maybe discard the ones that aren't quite as deep red. So they pull apart very nicely. And I'm just using my hands here to rub the little berries together, and you'll see that the seeds here actually are a little bit fuzzy, and this is what you're trying to harvest. You don't need the stems, you don't need the inside, you just need the little seeds here. So we're going to put these in a little sifter and try to get some of the dirt and crud off of them. A lot of times worms will take up residence inside the staghorn, and you aren't going to want those worms to go in here. Today we're actually making a tea or lemonade out of these. So we're going to use 4 of these staghorn heads for a half-gallon glass jar. We're just going to get all the berries and we're going to put them in there. So I'll show you the process here. So these berries come off very, very easily. And you can just kind of rub it between your fingers. We'll do this for each of these, trying to get as many as possible. Now, if you can see inside here, it looks a little bit dark inside. This one probably had a couple worms inside of it. You don't want those in there, so pick out any sticks or anything that's not the little berries in there. It's pretty easy to find the pieces that you don't want and get them out of there. Go and knock some of the crud off of these. You do not want to wash these before you put them in, because the sap or liquid that's on the outside of the staghorns can easily get washed off by water. You don't want to rinse those off. That's why we wait for a long dry spell to harvest these. So now I'm using some fresh filtered water, and I'm just going to pour this up to the top. And this should give us the right quantity, with about 4 of the staghorn heads in a half-gallon of water is a good mix. So now I'll just cap this up. Give it a little bit of a shake, because the seeds are fuzzy, so it takes a little bit of agitation to get the water all around them, so they actually are letting go of some of their flavor into the water. So we're just going to let that sit for a couple hours. Now I have one that's been sitting about 20-25 minutes here, and you can see the color already, the difference in color between the one that we just put in. Now, you let this sit for about 4 hours, and it'll turn out pretty nice. Now, I want to talk about the different filters here. We use the one on the left here to filter the seeds before they go in. Afterwards, you take a fine mesh filter and pour this down through, and that will get all those seeds and all the berries out of there as you pour it off, because all you want is the liquid. So now, this is a jar of the liquid that has sat for about 4 hours and it's been filtered. We will take this, add a little bit of sugar to taste, however you want. It has a similar to lemonade or tea flavor. So then all you do is add your sugar to taste, which I've done here. Pour it off and enjoy. The seeds can also be dried and crushed to use as a dry powder seasoning in other food dishes. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments.